Once upon a time, I was an owner-operator truck driver. And by the way, I'm from South Carolina. I'm just an old country boy. Then I had worked my way up and bought my own truck, which wasn't all it was cut out to be, really. But anyway, I had a really rough time just trying to stay afloat. And so one time I stayed out on the road for probably 12 to 15 weeks. I remember at least 12 weeks, 3 months. And I wound up delivering some kind of carpet to somewhere in Chicago. And by the way, I was going back and forth from Laredo, Texas to Chicago, Laredo, Texas to Detroit, Michigan. I was hauling Ford windshields for Mustangs and pickup trucks and stuff such as that, and then carpet to every different kind of place. Somehow I wound up in Chicago, and on one of my loads, I made it there just in time for them to unload me before they closed for the day. And it was an industrial area. And I know Chicago is a dangerous place, but I figured this industrial zone shouldn't see too many vagrants or anything like that. It's highly unlikely. There's so many cameras in these businesses and places. So anyway, I was so tired I decided to sleep there beside this building in my truck. And I know I was crazy that way. I could almost sleep anywhere. I've slept in the middle of nowhere. I've slept in the middle of cities. I never really had a worry or a concern. I just always flew below the radar somehow. I was only ever really bothered at the big truck stops by people of the night banging on the door, trying to sell something or trade something or whatever. So anyway, I slept really rough that night because of where I was, for one, but two, I woke up with the feeling that I had been dropped from feet in the air above my bed onto my bed, as if I was plopped down there. And when I woke up, my left eye was so bloodshot, I couldn't open it. I could open it, but it burned so bad I had to keep closing it. So, and I had another load to pick up over in Indiana, so I had to get out of there pretty early. Well, I decided to get up early because I didn't like how I felt. But it felt as if my eyeball had been pulled out and just dried out like a grape into a raisin. I looked in the mirror in my truck. I had a cabinet, a door. It was kind of like a closet thing in the bunk. And you open it, and my eye was just so red and bloodshot. And I couldn't figure out what the heck happened. It never happened to me. I was 30-something years old at the time. That had never happened to me. Ever. It was almost like I went digging in my eye at night while I was asleep. And it was nuts. And then I started having these dreams days later, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So ended up, I took off. And so imagine this, I'm pretty much driving with one eye because my left eye is so bad. I'm opening it now and then, but it's so irritated I have to keep closing it. So I'm driving down the interstates of Chicago and around down the bottom, then back towards Gary, Indiana, and over that way on 80-90. It's been a long time ago. Anyway, I ended up getting on out of the really congested areas. Even though it was very early in the morning, there wasn't as much traffic as there would have been a few hours later. And I made it to a truck stop, and luckily for me, there was a few spots available. I backed into one. And I went in, and I went into the bathroom, and my eye was just so bad. It was so bloodshot. I've never seen it that way. Anyway, I went and got an orange juice, and I got a breakfast biscuit. I had time because I got started ahead of time. So I decided, well, I'm just going to take an hour nap. So I came back to the truck and I took a nap for an hour. And when I woke up, my eye was fine. Perfectly fine. Except for it felt like something was behind it. I just felt fat and protruded. But oh well, it felt better. I had no problem. It wasn't even bloodshot anymore. It was perfectly fine. So I went on, picked this load up. And when I say I hauled ass, I hauled ass. I made it all the way down because I was headed back towards Laredo. I made it all the way down into Missouri, almost to the Arkansas line on Interstate 55. There's a truck stop somewhere down there. Anyway, this was before getting into Arkansas. But I stopped there and I woke up and the same thing happened to my right eye. So I left early. I got down across the Arkansas line and I stopped before I got too far in there. It's like there's a truck stop up there called CarMax or something like that. Not like CarMax to Car Place, but it's like somebody's last name like Carmack. I'm just guessing it's a family truck stop. But anyway, dirt parking lot. So I get in there and take a nap and I wake up and my eye is fine except for it feels fat. Like it's protruding or something. But it's not bloodshot anymore or anything like that. And what happens after that is for other stories that I'm going to tell, but this started something very crazy for me. And it sounds like I'm nuts, but this really happened. And I can't figure it. Maybe I just went through some allergic reactions or something. I don't know. It was really weird. I had some crazy dreams. But that's for another video. But after that, a lot of things started happening. I'll tell you all about it.